What's up, guys? I am going to be better about my YouTube channel. I have a couple of announcements, which is exciting. And I'm trying to figure out where my camera is. There. Okay, that makes sense. That's where I have to look. As you can see, I literally just put my cell phone on and go. I have no special fancy filming equipment. We might get there eventually, but we're not there right now. So I have a couple of things to say. Number one, I have reached 100 subscribers, which is exciting. But if you scroll back far enough, I was actually doing a giveaway joint with Chris from Lion Punch Forge that when I got 100 subscribers, we were giving away a pair of studs that I have made and one of Chris's original Lion's Claws soldering assists. So I am holding true to that. That video is like, what, 3 years old probably or somewhere in there. We're going to hold true to it. So I actually have to go back and review that video and read or listen to what we said as far as the parameters for entering it. But we're going to do it. So that's exciting. And then I'm going to talk about revamping my space for a few reasons, which has to do with me changing gears with my business, literally and figuratively. And then also has to do with us changing gears in our family life, literally and figuratively. And then also really, really rad merch that I had designed that is ready to go. And my brain is so excited. And then I have some more projects with two more artists that we have really cool designs planned on coming out over the course of the next probably year. So I'm really looking forward to that and I'm super stoked. So first things first, I just had stickers and magnets made. Two of the stickers are for the design that Chris Griswold did for me. And let's see if I'm pan over to it. Don't mind, our basement is still under construction, but it looks backwards to you right now. But you see that flag right there. I had made the design on there. So that design has been put on two different kinds of stickers, one of which I have a sample with right now. I'm waiting for the other one to come in the mail, but shiny holograph. So it just says Ghost Town Metalworks on it, and it's got a really rad skull with a skeleton hand with, loads of jewelry on, which comes by honest, and a prickly pear cactus, and a little antique bottle there that says American made. I'm super pumped on those. John did an amazing job. John is a very talented artist. I'll be sure that I drop his Instagram, website, and stuff down below in the comments here. But he is the senior artist for Black Rifle Coffee Company. He just got promoted to that position within the last, I think, 6 months probably. And then he also does a lot of side freelance work. I'm so honored that I have some of John's work. I just wanted to get some of John's work in general to have in my shop and have framed. So I'm gonna literally have to put a sticker right here to remind me where to look, because I'm not looking in the right spot. I have to hang something there to remind me. But so I'm just still so touched that I have something of John's. It's super cool. And I followed his work for a couple of years, so it's very special that I have some of his work with my business name on it. Super cool. And of course, we'll still be rocking the OG Ghost Town Metalworks logos. So these are the magnets. These are the stickers as of right now. So I just did a small batch run of those, and then we're having t-shirts made, which we'll be doing probably pre-order for those. We have a baseball tee, and then in two different color combos for that, and then a t-shirt in two different color combos. And we are gonna do kids sizes too. So super rad and stoked about that. As far as the giveaway, I'm gonna go review that video Chris and I put up and see what the terms even were for it. And then whatever the terms are, totally gonna honor it. I actually have, Chris already physically gave me the lion's claw forever ago, because he kind of thought my channel was gonna get to 100 a little sooner, which is okay. But I have it. It's in a drawer right there. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's been waiting for its person. So I'm super excited. I use Chris's tools all the time, literally all the time. He's a genius, an absolute genius. And then the other things to talk about, casting. So I did my very first casting. I'm not wearing my specific ring right now, but I only have one piece of jewelry that I kept from 20 years ago when I took jewelry 1 and 2 in Spokane, so 2 semesters worth of jewelry when I was working on my biology degree. and my art minor. So I have a ring that I carved out of wax, and they did the lost wax casting method. Old school. We did the broken arm centrifuge, and the burnout kiln, all that stuff. And when I started this business 7 years ago, I put in the business model that I knew I wanted to eventually get to the point where I had a casting set up. So I have collected everything I need to do casting. It's just a matter of needing to create the time to figure it out. But also on top of that, it's just a little bit intimidating. 2 decades is a long time to go in between doing something. But in the meantime, I've actually gone and taken an amazing wax carving workshop from Kate Wolf. I flew over to Maine, Portland, Maine, and took that class from her probably like 4 years ago, maybe it was 5 years ago. And that was stellar. Kate is literally one of the best wax carvers in the world, in case you didn't know that. She literally has worked for our treasury to design coins. Like, she is amazing, and she's made really, really amazing tools too. She and Chris have those very like inventive, I call them like jewelry Einstein minds. So if you don't follow Kate Wolf and you're someone that wants to get into wax carving, or you're just in jewelry in general and you're curious, like, definitely go check her out and check out her carving tools. She's also a stellar human, very hilarious, and we share a birthday. So I call her my birthday twin. So Kate's amazing. All that being said, I have been getting over a wrist injury, which it is feeling so much better. And I wish that I could say it was for something really cool, but it's more like I am almost 40, and I've had 2 careers now over the span of, since I was 18. Okay, so that's a lot of years, over a while, that have really wreaked havoc on my hands and my wrists and my elbows. So I was in the veterinary medicine realm before for 14 years before I decided to take the jump into official jewelry making and having my own business and everything. So that was really hard on my hands. A lot of people don't think about that, but surprisingly, yeah. Like, you have to spend a long time like scrubbing a cat that's trying to eat you so that you can shave it or whatever, or just having to help set catheters and everything. There's a lot of repetitive motions that you have to do through vet med. And some of them you have to hold these motions for a long time. So if you're assisting in surgery, you may have to hold, a limb or something in a particular angle underneath the surgery drape for the surgeon for extended periods of time. Like, there's so many things that you just have to do that really take a toll on your body and your joints and your tendons and all your connective tissue. So I have had like a little bit of hand or wrist problems. Like, now that I think about it, I think it's happened like twice, and it's been when I've just been pushing myself really, really hard in my studio and working hard a lot, especially with things that are taking a toll on my hands, my wrist strength specifically. And I know I have like a compression glove somewhere, so I have to actually figure out where it's at. That being said, I was laid up all last week. I couldn't do anything with this hand. It hurt to even do this. It was really, really painful. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this. I couldn't go side to side. I couldn't do motions like this. So like even opening a jar or anything, I couldn't do any of that. So I was essentially one-handed all last week with a non-dominant hand to use. So I did not do work in my studio last week. I couldn't do design work. I couldn't even hold a pen. It was actually really uncomfortable to even hold a cell phone to text. So I used that as part of a social media break, just kind of bounced out of there for a while and did not get on social media and just gave my arm rest. What I did do is I got on my laptop and I just binge watched YouTube videos, and I did a lot of continuing education and just figured this is a great chance to absorb information. I know I am changing over to a lot of casting. I'm not intending on being a fully cast jewelry business, but I am definitely wanting to switch to a lot of that with a kind of a gradient of like then pieces that are partially cast and partially fabricated together, and then pieces that are fabricated. So I'm just looking for kind of changing gears in my business. I've wanted to implement this for years, so I'm excited to be at the point where I can do that. I just found another account that I'm very inspired by in the last week or so, and Matira, I think is what her handle is, but her name's Adriana, and I'll try to find her link and put it below. But she's shared her journey, so she's been metalsmithing for 4 years. Sounds like, from what I gathered, all the binging I did, she started out a year doing fabrication work, and then was doing wax carving and was actually sending her pieces out to be cast. And then they moved all over, they're settled, and she started doing in-house casting. It sounds like probably within the last year. So, and she started her YouTube video, it sounds like maybe like a year or so ago. So her stuff has been great, and she's gotten a lot of the more like modern casting equipment. And I initially thought I wanted a lot of the old school way just because that's how I learned, 20 years ago, which 20 years ago, like that was the only way. But now after watching enough of her videos of using it, I've just thought about so many things because I am limited on space. Luckily, I'm in a studio that's of nice size, but because we're changing gears of family, starting to homeschool our little guy, and I need to be able to work still, and he needs a separate space for schooling specifically, part of my studio space is going to be going to him. We'll be getting turned into, oh my gosh, I keep looking there. You should look there. I'll do better, guys, I promise. And I actually need to get my camera hooked up for this because I have a proper camera, which is probably better for this stuff anyway. But so part of the space is going to go to him. So all this has gotten me thinking about the fact that I need to work more efficiently, but also need to be able to have my little guy, in close proximity and actually make it so that we can both focus while we're both present in the same place, focus doing different things, right? So my studio has been in need of being finished anyway. We moved into this house 2 years ago. The basement was only partially finished. And I mean, it was enough to be functional for sure, but there's plenty left to do. The ceilings need to be done. We have some more, we have to seal a sheetrock on the back there. And, there's some trim and stuff, a door there that needs to get fixed and framed in with trim and have a door hung, kind of like a little closet thing there. So we have plenty of work to do down here. So I'm looking at this as an opportunity to revamp a space for our little guy to have his own space for homeschooling, but that also makes me think like, wow, well, every square foot he has for school is one less square foot I have for equipment, right? And I ordered a pretty big centrifuge, like with the shell. I'll take pictures of it to show you, but like I'm looking at it now. You probably can't really see it. It's literally sitting on the floor. It's that orange thing right about there. The shell is probably literally like this big. So it's really big. So one of the other reasons it's been hanging me up from starting casting is that I've been needing to try to track down a table that's actually big enough to hold that. It's big and it needs to be stable and it needs to be able to be bolted down to it. So I was watching all of Adriana's stuff, and she got one of the more modern combo units. The one thing I don't have is I don't have a vacuum for the investment, and then also that helps with a certain type of mold that you can do. You need to have a vacuum to suck all the air bubbles out. So I was looking at the footprint for it, and like one of those units, it looks like it's not that big. I mean, I would be saving a lot of space. So what I'm considering doing is actually selling my centrifuge with the shell and changing out to an electric furnace. I'm going to still have my crucibles on hand because sometimes I need to pour an ingot or something like that. But I want to sell my centrifuge, the shell, all the flasks that I bought because I don't think those will work with the new setup. So I've just been working through a lot mentally. So this is just a video blog, my first kind of official video blog. I've gotten on here and talked about things before, but that's just kind of what's going on. I will probably in one of my soon videos before we really start adjusting the space, take some videos and some pictures of this to kind of document of what it was like beforehand so you can kind of see how it transforms. But I've really wanted to have a space that is just really inspiring to be in, and it's hard to feel inspired when you're working in a construction zone. Maybe that sounds kind of silly, but for artists, we are so aesthetically driven that it is very hard to work. Like what we like to do is to make things around us interesting or beautiful. And whether that's decorating it with other people's artwork or with things that nature has made, nature's artwork, or things that we've made, it's important. So I'm looking forward to that, and I have some really cool ideas for what I want to do down here, but I'm excited to show you guys what it turns into. So that's the biggest thing is that, yeah, I think that the centrifuge has to go. I think I'm going to sell that and then use that money for an electric furnace, and then getting one of those combo vacuum casting units that will take up much less table space here and will probably honestly give me a little bit more consistent results. The only downside to it is that you have to have, you know, electricity, and we do sometimes get power outages here, not too badly, but like that type of centrifuge is all manual. It's spring loaded, so you wind it up and everything. My acetylene tank, I have an acetylene air torch that I would use with it. That requires no electricity. So it's like, I would technically be able to do that part of casting without electricity, but I wouldn't be able to use my burnout kiln without electricity. So I'm just not going to worry about it. It's all good. So I'll be checking in with you guys again soon. And next time, I'll see if I can get my camera hooked up. We'll try to do this the real way instead of on my cell phone. I was trying to be better about using it horizontally, because YouTube on a computer is horizontal downloads, but I just noticed like all of my uploads that I put on are vertical because I'm doing them on a cell phone, and the orientation is just weird. So I decided to do this one horizontal just for funsies. But I'm excited to show you guys my setup. I already have a wax carving bench, which is great. I found it for free on the side of a road up in Cleveland, Washington. And it's like a retro 1970s bench, and it's perfect for wax carving. So that's what it's going to be used for. So I just can't wait to get the rest of the space figured out. One of the things I am going to do is I have an absolutely rad antique watchmaker's bench that's what I used for the first 4 years. We'll say first 5 years of my business. But then when we moved from Washington down to Nevada, we brought it with us, but it's too small to get into my space, and taking it apart looks pretty horrible, and parts of it looks like it might break. But I'm at the point where I just miss that bench so much because it's set up for what I'm doing. Like, it has the catch tray that comes out, all the drawers are perfect. Like, I have a really nice Husky butcher block top table that my husband bought me after we moved in here, and I appreciate it a lot, but it's really not the most efficient thing for metalsmithing at, unfortunately. It's just really difficult, and I can do things like tuck my leather apron into this drawer so that I have a catch and stuff, but like bench pins at the wrong height, and I know we can get adjusters. GRS sells a multi-adjustable thing. I saw one of those at, I don't remember if it was at Kate Wolf's workshop or if it was at the Emily Marquis' Marquis Academy, if she had one of those there. But I know that you can get like an adjustable bench pin extender, but why do that when I have a jeweler's bench outside that door that I can't get in here? So that's my list of things to do before the snow flies. So by this fall, part of this place is going to be turned into a homeschooling nook. The other part is going to be a beautiful studio that's complete with a fabrication part, a polishing part, and then also, you guys, I got lapidary stuff. That's been my business model forever. I just got this great, doesn't look so much now, but this is a trim saw that I scored from Erica from Mountain Girl Cabs, and Chris from Line Punch Board. This is kind of like a joint thing for them, so I got to put this together. Chris has a cabbing machine he's going to meet that's gently used that we're going to be hopefully getting over to me, and then I have a 16-inch slab saw that I need to get out of storage. Like, I'm set up for lapidary, so like I cannot wait to turn this studio into what it's going to be into. It's going to be super rad, and I can't wait to show you guys. So thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned soon for that giveaway, because I hit 100 subscribers. Thanks, everyone. I can't believe there's 100 people out there that even want to listen to what I have to say, but I appreciate all of you, and I hope you're doing great, and we'll talk to you soon.